for 4 decades. Our first guest tonight has seen a million faces, and he's... Thank you. I want to see if you're paying attention. He is the subject of a new multi-part documentary, Thank You, Good Night, The Bon Jovi Story. It premieres April 26th on Hulu. Please welcome John Bon Jovi. Very happy to have you here. Boy, I've been wanting to have you on the show for a long time. And I think the last time I saw you, I finally guilted you into coming out and doing it.
No. It's my fault. I apologize.
Well, people don't realize that you're under house arrest in the state of New Jersey.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm happy to have broken free to come and see you.
You look great. And Guillermo dressed up special for you.
I loved it.
Just for you.
I loved it.
Yeah, just for you.
I don't remember you ever wearing that specifically. Do you ever go in the closet and dig out the old stuff?
Oh, yeah. I put it on for my wife.
Halloween for Dorothy, yeah.
Come out wearing
Little sexy time.
the frills.
You do keep... I was interested to learn that you keep a lot of your... You are pretty fastidious when it comes to keeping your old stuff.
Yeah.
And why? Why do you think that is?
Garage sale.
Yeah? I don't think that's it. I don't know. Because I'm like that, too. I'm like, oh, I got to hang on to this.
I don't know why I needed that coaster from that special dinner that night, but I did. I kept everything. And so we archived it all, which led then to this documentary and this 40th anniversary. But I'm a hoarder.
It's a good thing, because you have all this material to draw from.
Yeah, and it also got me a slot on that cable show, The Hoarders.
Did your wife get upset about all the stuff that you keep?
No. It's all, I usually have the applause track when I come down the stairs in the morning.
You have to.
So it's very important.
You have to get that. You can't, yeah. So you have your first guitar?
I do.
Yeah?
I just bought it back. I sold it to a guy in the neighborhood some 45, 50 years ago now. And I found out that this same kid had it. And I asked him if I could buy it back. And he was great about selling it
So
back.
what year did you sell this to him?
78-ish.
And what year did you buy it back?
2024.
Wow. Just now?
Yeah, he was great. There was a kid from the neighborhood. I remembered his name. He lived there his whole life. He became a policeman in the town. His name's Stevie Gulick. Thank you, Stevie Gulick, for being a good man and so on. And I saw it in the same cardboard case that I sold it to him in the same 5 strings instead of 6, if I'm not, messing that up. And I believe that those sweat marks, I don't think he ever touched it. Here's the
I would
bottom
hope
line.
not.
I don't think he ever touched it. So he said, it's where it belongs. I picked it up. I wrote a song that's on the forthcoming record. And yeah, I got my first guitar.
You wrote a song on your first guitar?
It's called I'm in Love with My First Guitar.
Oh, that's the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, this whole new record is about joy and finding simple things like that give you such joy. But yes, I got my first Univox guitar back.
That's pretty cool. That's great. And how much did you have to pay for that? More than you originally?
It's a good deal.
Your first hit song was Runaway, right?
Yes.
And this is the kind of thing that these stories that you hear, you don't ever hear about the 1,000 other guys who do this and it doesn't work out. But for you, you literally took the song to a radio station.
Right, and you can appreciate this coming from radio.
Yeah.
Look, the most passionate man in the music business is a DJ. Why? Because he's alone with a microphone preaching the gospel of music to who knows who, if anybody. And at that time, when DJs were really influential,
right,
and I wasn't getting any response to Runaway as a cassette that I was sending around to anyone and everyone, I thought, who's the guy? A DJ. Let me go out there. And the station was so new, they didn't have a receptionist. So I literally knocked on the window of the booth, and he said, shush, came out after the show was over, heard Runaway, and said, it's a hit. I said, I know. Now what? And they started to play it, and Doubleday owned that chain of stations. So now I'm on 8 stations nationwide.
So they started playing it locally in New York, and then it became a hit there, and they said,
Detroit, Chicago, Tampa, blah, blah, blah. And I finally got my record deal, which I still have the same record deal today.
Just based on the merits of the song alone.
It was a hit song.
Its own. That's unbelievable. And it's a great song. I still love hearing that song. But that was not your first. I have to say, our team here is very excited that they found your actual first recording.
Yes, sir.
Which is, believe it or not, this is going to seem like a joke. This is not a joke. On a Star Wars tribute Christmas album. The Star Wars Christmas album.
That's right.
How'd you wind up on this?
I was a gopher in a recording studio from the fall of 1980 until '83 when we did the first record. And there was a guy named Miko Minardo who was doing these kind of tribute records, taking advantage of the Star Wars craze. He was pretending to be a young boy singing the song. It sounded like an old man pretending to be a young boy. And he says, "Young boy, can you sing?" And I said, "That's what, I think I can." He says, "Go in there, and if you want to do this, it pays $183. And I got $183.
Do you remember the title of the song?
Yeah.
What was it?
R2D2, We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
R2D2. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Oh, yeah. Legend.
Unbelievable.
Legends.
You're part of the Star Wars universe.
Yep.
One of the other songs I just noticed the title is What Can You Get a Wookiee for Christmas When He Already Owns a Comb? You're not on that one, are you?
No, I missed
that was the big hit
That
track.
came later in the 80s.
So you had, we just talked about Runaway, you had the song, you knew it was a hit, and yet in the documentary you say that you didn't want to record Livin' on a Prayer.
Well, the thing about when we finally got around to writing Prayer on the third record, and we had some successes, you got to remember when it's really primarily 4 chords. And that bass line wasn't developed until we got into rehearsal with the band. Mm-hmm. So it was all the lyric, the chord changes, the melodies, yes. But it would sound very simplistic, just hitting quarter notes on the piano as we were writing it. It took shape, in all honesty, when Tico and Hughes started to play on.
So the version you heard of the song was not the version you ultimately...
Tommy used to work on the docks. It was this. The union went on strike. He's down on his luck. It's tough.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Right.
I don't know.
we knew the lyric was right. We knew the chorus was right. We knew everything was right. And we were like, Motown bass line. But we didn't work it up until we got to rehearsal.
Did that make you question your other decisions in any way?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did, yeah. Bruce Springsteen is your idol, and he's a guy that you say you saw, being from New Jersey, being an Italian kid from New Jersey. You're like, oh, you can be a rock star, right?
When you grew up in the late 70s, in my house, you had all the posters from Circus Magazine on your wall, and Led Zeppelin and Queen and all the Leonard Skinner. But that was impossible. That was from another planet. But 30 miles south of Sayreville, New Jersey, was Asbury Park, and there was 10 Asbury Jukes, 7 East Street Band members. They had been making records. They're 10, 12 years older than I am, so that you can go down and touch the impossible. It was right there. And all of them wanted a free drink, so if you'd buy them a drink, they'd tell you anything.
They'd talk to you. And do you now, like I know you and Bruce are friends and you hang out, do you ever get over that?
No.
No, yeah.
No, he's him.
And I'm here with Bruce?
No, never.
Do you do things with Bruce?
We do. I've known him my whole adult life, and then when I was a kid, the first time he jumped up on stage was 1979. I'm still in high school. So I go to high school the next morning, and I say, boy, do I have a story to tell. Because, I'm playing with Southsider Bruce, and they're several records into their careers at this point. I'm still in high school. But nowadays, we go out of our way to spend time together, and the story that's gotten around is that we take these drives. And so we just, no radio, no phones, nobody. The two of us will go for 100 miles where the two of us can lock the door and go for a ride and talk.
Oh,
catch up.
God.
And for the first 5, 6, 7 times, I'd say, God, I wish a cop would pull us over. This would be a great shot. But now that there's lots of sightings, it's like, Bigfoot, because we've been everywhere, and people see you at the flea market or the ice cream parlor or the bar. We've done it a bunch.
Well, we got Bigfoot here, and he's got a documentary, 4-part. It's called Thank You, Good Night, the John Bon Jovi Story. It's on Hulu. We'll be right back.
From inception through 1990 was that rocket ship to success. It was everything you'd ever dreamed of and were willing to sacrifice to get to that place that you thought was the it. It was being on the precipice of what was to become greatness and longevity, or falling backwards and being the end.
That is from Thank You, the Night, the John Bon Jovi story, premieres April 26th on Hulu. And so many great stories. I got an advanced look at it, and it seemed like you guys had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun. We were in a rock band.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. There's a story I want to ask you about that is not in the documentary, because people are going to get to see all these stories in the documentary. But Bon Jovi and Michael Jackson appeared in Tokyo the same weekend?
Same period of time.
Same period of time. There was some crossover. And did you spend time with Michael Jackson?
Yeah, everybody wanted to meet Michael Jackson. So Richie and I had the opportunity to go up to his room, and we walked into his hotel room, which was all done up in mirrors so he could dance. And they actually took a wall out between these rooms. So
in the hotel?
They absolutely did, because he was there for quite a while. And his manager takes us in, fixes his hair, puts his cigar out, fixes his shirt before he enters the room. I mean, it was all very surreal. And Michael comes in with like the bullet belts across his shirt, like. And my eyes sort of do that wink womp, because, it's Michael Jackson and you're in his hotel room. And we were just telling him a story about how we had just come from Australia, and it's the height of Slippery When Wet tour, and how we had bought wigs and mustaches and beards so we could go out and into the community and be with the crowd. And he just played along as though he'd never done any such thing, to find out, of course, that he had done that all the time.
Yeah.
So now, we think we're friends, and we say, come on down onto our floor and, hang out. We've got the whole band here. The girls are our girlfriends and all are here. And unfortunately, he didn't come, but he sends Bubbles the Chimp as his representative.
Wow. That's a strong.
That was big, right? Bubbles comes down and wreaks havoc. Bubbles partied like a rock star.
Wait, how did Bubbles arrive? And Bubbles was in your room loose?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Jumping on the bed, putting on a show. Oh, yeah. And I don't remember who brought him down or if he just came down on his own with the cigar. But Bubbles showed up, man, and he hung hard.
How long would you guess Bubbles was in the room with you?
Seemed like a lifetime, I see. Quite a while. I mean, to the point where hotel management came and threatened to throw us out.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, Michael can have Bubbles, but you can't. How about that?
No, we partied with Bubbles.
Wow. That's great. Bubbles is still around. Every once in a while, I think about him.
Where are they now, tour?
He lives in Florida, I think he lives near Legoland in Florida.
Come on in, I'm
You should
Bubbles.
stop by, reminisce. You mentioned Slippery When Wet. This is, I remember this so well. I remember reading about this controversy.
Yeah.
Maybe I saw it on Entertainment Tonight or something like that.
Yeah.
This was the album cover.
That could have been.
That could have been. This was rejected for content reasons, yes?
I would have called it career suicide, but yes.
Yeah. This, true or false, the model is former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. Yeah?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
So then they said, okay, you can't do that.
So this is in an era before there was a such thing as the computer, and there was no fax machines, there was no FedEx, there was no cell phones. We're up in Vancouver making this record, and it's out of our control what's going on with this album cover. And they send a Xerox copy. Remember, it was blue on blue when they would send you it in a photographic form. So they sent this thing, and I said, this is a terrible photograph, and it's cropped really poorly. But by the way, what is the outline? And they said, oh, it's hot pink. I said, where the hell did you get hot pink? They said, we match it to her lipstick. I said, this is career suicide. So now You Give Love a Bad Name is literally on the radio. And I said, we got to do something about this album cover. And our manager went to bat for us, and they burned 500,000 album covers with the single on the radio. And they said, you're in trouble because this album needs to be shipped. And that album cover right there, the real one.
This one.
Is a black, hefty garbage bag that I shot with the photographer. He shot it with water. I took my fingers and wrote Slippery When Wet. And I said, there's your album cover, turn it in.
You know what? He's not just an artist, he's an artist. I mean, that's so crazy.
It was
that's
scary,
how that happened.
At the time, I just said it worked for Back in Black. Let's just give him a black album cover. And
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun sharing your life with the world.
Well, we'll
Are
see
you
about
nervous
that.
about it at all?
It's crazy because they say that you see your life flash just before you die. I saw my life flash before me, and I haven't died yet. So, now I'm waiting for the other shoe to fall. But it's an incredible docuseries. Gotham Chopra directed it, and it airs on April the 26th. Well,
and you got an album coming out, too.
yes, yes. The first single, Legendary, is a hit on radio, which is crazy. And album hits June 7th.
John Bon Jovi, everybody. June 7th, forever. John, thank you. Good night. The Bon Jovi Story, April 26th on Hulu. Thank you for being with us.
Great to see you, Joe.
We'll be right back with Henry Hall.